Shalom. First and foremost, above all things, I want to give all praises and honor and glory that's definitely due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Radash. I want to give a special double honors to our elders and apostles on down at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. May the blessing of election be upon your household, on you sincere brothers and you few sisters out there that take heed, that listen and take heed to the true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua as spoken by his servants, the prophets. And I wanted to go into things are starting to really heat up. You know, you got Trump right now. He's talking and threatening to bomb Iran's power plants in certain areas that are very important, which really is not going to only affect Iran, it's going to affect the other countries. And so what's going to end up happening, a lot of you Jakes, when the aftermath of what he's about to do, if he does do this, because it's all through the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, whether he does or not, which eventually that is going to happen, because war is prophesied, and also that prophesied in the Bible, as well as you know, the after effects of where the Virgin Babylon, which has never been hit, is going to be hit by a lot of missiles from a lot of nations, because of you know, because it's the Lord's will, man. And you can see how everything is playing out, because we're measuring things like the scriptures say, measure out the times. So through the scriptures, we're measuring out the times. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1 on down, you know. So there's going to be a time where the prophets are no longer going to be on the highways and the hedges, you know, and they're not going to be you know, they're not going to be doing these videos like we're doing right now, you know. And when all these things happen, you're going to want to know the answers on why these things are happening. And you think about it, a lot of you Jakes walk by when the prophets are speaking. And right now, the prophets have the most important message on the face of this planet, you know. And you don't want to take heed. You're still in that mindset, you Jakes, you're still in that mindset of folly, man. You know, still caught up in your so-called lifestyle here. You have to understand that the fashion of this world is about to fastly let me get it. I don't want to mess it up. 1 Corinthians. Chapter 7 and verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Yep. And so that's what's about to happen. The fashion of this world is about to pass away, and you Jakes are still caught up in it like it's gonna go on forever, and it's not, you know. So it's time for you to wake the hell up, man, you know. And so soon you're gonna want answers when things start hitting home, meaning that there's an uprise in violence here in America. You're gonna want to know what's going on, but by that time it's gonna be too late. It's the book of Amos chapter 8. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy God. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which means he is or he exists. And then you have the Son's name, which is Yahweh Shai, which means he that delivers. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yeah. See, right now you walk past the prophets. You're not trying to hear the words. So the Lord is going to, increase, allow the increase of violence on the earth to the point to where you're going to want to have answers. Why are all these things happening? And you ain't going to be able to turn to the prophets, because the prophets are no longer going to be out there prophesying. We're not going to be out there, man. So now's the time to get this word. Now, there is those who will come in, in the last hour. But for the most part, for a lot of you Jakes, it's just too late, man. So now's the time to get this message and get in good graces with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai now, man. Let's back up Ezekiel chapter 7. Go here. It's lucky I'm driving, but hey, words got to be done, man. There you go. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 26. Mischief shall come upon mischief. Yeah, all that's going to come. Mischief is going to be heavy here in this place, Babylon, aka America. And rumor shall be upon rumor. And then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. Yeah. So you're going to be looking for the prophets to get an understanding of why all these mischiefs and why all these rumors, why all these things are happening. We're giving it to you now, but you don't take heed. So you're not taking heed. You're showing the Lord that, you ain't trying to hear it, But that's okay, because it's going to come a time when you're going to wish you had. Here's the backup, Ezekiel chapter 7. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth. Who is that? Whose tongue is going to cleave to the roof of thy mouth? That'll be the prophets. That thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. Yeah. You don't want to, get right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and it's going to come a time when the Lord is going to shut it off, man. Let's go back to Amos chapter 5, because we won't be out here forever, man. And things are getting pretty bad out here. We're really starting to get there. And, you need Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And how do you seek him? You seek him through his prophets, man. Amos chapter 5, verse 13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, or it is an evil time. And this is referring to the prophets. So now's the time to get this truth and knowledge while you can, man. And so the Lord is going to set it up so that, when it comes that time, man, that we're not going to be out there speaking. We're not going to be saying anything, We're going to, because they're going to come after the prophets as well. Just like they're going to come after you Jakes out there, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Native American Indians, you so-called Latinos. You're all the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Proverbs chapter 1, and I'll start here in verse 25. But ye have set at not all my counsel, and none of my reproof. So as the end result, because you have not you know, taking the counsel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai as spoken by his prophets, this is the end result of it. Verse 26, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Yeah. You know, and that's about to come. That's about to fastly approach, man. We can see it in the spirit, man. Well, we really, realistically, we probably have months, you know, in this system that we're living in, this wicked system that this devil has created. We only got months here, man, you know. So, you know, now's the time, man. And so the Lord's going to laugh at your calamity if you're not taking heed. And how he's going to do that, he's going to laugh through his prophets, service to prophets. Verse 27, when your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Yeah, see, that's the thing about Jake. A lot of you Jakes are going to just, you know, you got to be in that hot water before you start calling upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, even if you don't know the names, you know, you're going to be trying to seek some kind of help. You're going to be trying to seek the prophets, and the prophets are not going to be found. And if you do run into a prophet, they're not going to be able to speak, man, because the Lord is going to clean, you know, thy tongue to the root of the mouth. So it's, you know, we're not going to be able to speak. So now's the time to get this while you can. Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Yeah. So, you know, it'll be too late to call upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushua then. You know, so now's the time to call upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So I'm going to close out with this one right here. Isaiah chapter 55. And verse 6. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Yeah. Verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God Yahweh, for he will abundantly pardon. Yeah. So the Lord, when you come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai now, the Lord will greatly pardon whatever it is that you have done, man, if you come back in true sincerity, you know. But if you stay in this mindset of trying to live your best life and, you know, not trying to seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, then guess what? You're going to be destroyed, man, you know. Right along with Esau's rulership. So, Lord willing, I hope and pray that this is an edifying lesson. Once again, I want to give all praises and honor and glory that's definitely due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakak Radash. Until the next time, Lord willing, I say Shalom.